guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Philip and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this very fun mini golf game on Scratch. Now in this game we are going to be using the pen extension and we're going to use the pen extension to draw a line between the ball and the mouse pointer. And basically it will show in which direction it will go, the ball will go, and it will also show how much power it will go. The further you draw the line, the more power it will use. The more power, yeah. And also, we will be making friction in this game, and we'll do that by just making the ball stop after a while. There's also this cool thing we did. If you make a hole, if you get it in the hole, then it says I hit a hole in, and then it says the number of shots it took you to make the hole. So let's get started. Click the create button, and the first thing we're going to do is make the ball spray. So we're just going to paint a brand new spray. So let's delete this cat, and we will just make it a circle. So hold down shift to get like a perfect circle, and then we'll get rid of the outline, and I'm just gonna make it something like a dark blue, and don't forget to center the ball. Okay, next we want to go to the code and basically say when green flag clicked, and then forever we want the ball to move around the screen. So in past videos I've made that happen by changing the X and the Y, but this time we're gonna make it move something steps. So basically we're gonna make it move something steps, and then later we're gonna turn it left or right something degrees, because it will move any direction that it is turned if we do the move something steps. Let's get rid of that, and we'll put the move 10 steps, and you can see that it's moving 10 steps. Now here at the beginning, make it go to the middle, and as you can see it always goes that way with the same speed because it always moves 10 steps. Now we don't want that. We want it to always move with a different speed, with different steps. So we're just gonna make a variable that I will call power, I guess. And whoops. And then we want it to be for the spray only. And then here at the beginning, we're gonna set power to 10. So set and then power to 10, and then we want it to move power steps. Now next let's test it, and it still goes that way because it's basically the exact same thing. We just set this variable and we moved it with 10, how much we set it, which was before. Now I'll show you that whatever direction we turn it in, it will move that direction. So instead of 90, if we do, like, for example, 180, or here let's try 0, then it will move in that direction. So next, what we want to do is make the ball bounce. So Scratch has this very cool block in motion that's basically if on edge bounce. So we'll put that there, and let's take a look. So you can see that if it goes on the edge, then it bounces. And here, let's take a look at the direction. Now, for me, it's 90 when it bounces on this edge, and then it turns to negative 90. But it's not always going to be 90 or negative 90. It's going to be, so that positive number, and then it changes to the negative, and then that same number. So keep in mind that if it bounces on a vertical edge, then it will just be minus that number. So now let's see what will happen if we bounce it on the other edges, the horizontal edges. So let's make it go to 0, yeah, and let's go. You can see that it goes from 0 to 180 when it bounces. So basically it's 100, the rule is 180 and then minus that number, minus the direction. So yeah, keep that in mind. So next, let's use the two rules that we just found out of and replace this if on edge bounce block, because later on we won't want to bounce it on the edge, we want to bounce it on the golf course. So let's get rid of that, and we're just going to do if, and then we'll do the x first. So if the x position is greater than, we'll do 230, so then it's like close to the edge. And then we'll need an or for the other x. So if that happens, or the x position is smaller than negative 230, then we will want to just point in direction, and then we will want 0 minus and then direction. Let's duplicate that if and do the same thing for the y position. So here we go. If the y position is greater than 170, like I said, close to the edge but not the edge, or smaller than negative 170, then it will point in direction 180 minus direction. So let's test it, and we can see that it bounces on all of the edges. Next, we will want to make the golf course. So we will want to like put different colors for the vertical and horizontal edges, and then we'll use this cool idea of just bouncing the ball off of the different colors. So I am going to be making my track like a backwards C, but you can make it however you want. So I'll just time lapse, and I'll see you right after. So I'm done creating, and I created this cool golf course. So now I'm just going to add the hole. So I'm going to make a hole, oh whoops, and then hold down shift for a perfect circle. And I'm not going to make it green, I'm going to make it, I think, black. And then inside of that hole, we'll want to make a smaller hole because we don't want like this ball to pass by right here. We don't want that to count because that's like barely touching. We want it to hit like the middle. So that's why we're just going to make another one in the middle. And we'll make it like a gray so they can not really tell the difference. So let's change the color, make it darker, and we'll fill that one in even darker. Okay. Okay, that's good. And next, let's go back to the code, and we are just going to replace the ifs and make them if touching the colors. So we'll take this away, we'll keep it here for now, and we're going to do if touching color. And since that was this side, like from here to here, then we're going to need this green. And for this one, we'll need the different shade of green. So we'll need this one. And now let's actually get rid of these. And let's test it. And it bounces there because we position at the beginning at 0, 0. We're actually going to want to position it here. So at negative 190 with negative 100. And you can see that it bounces off the edges. Next, we will want to add friction because we want the ball to stop after an amount of time. So for that, every step it takes, we'll just decrease the value of power. So here, change power by, and then we'll do negative 1. Now here, it's doing this because here it's doing it forever. So we don't want it to do it forever. We want it to do it while it's something. So like repeat until, that's what we want to do, and then repeat until, and then the power variable is smaller than 1. So it's like barely moving. Alright, and let's test it now. And you can see that it stops very abruptly, so that's not good. Let's try making this negative 0.1. And yeah, I think that's good. So the next thing we want to do is make sure that this doesn't start when green flag clicked. It starts when the mouse is down. So we want to make sure that that happens. So when green flag clicked, what we actually want to do is forever, and then we'll ask ourselves if the mouse is down. And if the mouse is down, that means basically the mouse is clicked. So if the mouse is down, then we'll just broadcast a message. And then here, so let's name it. I'll just name it, I don't know, go. And then okay. And then when I receive go, we'll do all of these. Now we don't want to position it in this position when I receive go. We only want to position it at the very beginning. So put that there. Now let's test it and see nothing is happening. And then when I click, it goes. So that's good. Next, we want to always point towards the mouse pointer. So we'll go to the motion and we'll get this block. Point towards and then mouse pointer. And we'll put it right here. Now let's test it. And you can see I click, it goes towards my mouse pointer. Click this way, it goes towards my mouse pointer. Same here and here. Yeah, it works. So the next thing we want to do is we want the power. See, the power is always set to 10. And we don't want that. We want the power to change depending on the distance to the mouse pointer. So for that, we will just set power at the beginning, set power to, and then there's this cool block here, distance to mouse pointer. So now let's test it. And you can see when I click here, very close to it, it goes directly to my mouse. That is because it broadcasts too many messages, the go broadcast. It broadcasts too many of those, so we'll just need a wait. Here, I think 1 second should be fine. Now, let's test it. And you can see that pretty much works. Now, it works when I click right next to the ball, but if I click like right here, this distance is very big between the mouse pointer and the ball, so it will just move a lot. So it will set power to a lot and it'll go very fast. So we don't want to do that, so we want to make it smaller. We want to, make it smaller. So here we'll set power to and then distance to mouse pointer, and we'll want to make it smaller. So we'll just divide it by, and we'll try 10. Because the maximum that the distance between the mouse pointer and the ball that can be is 480 or 500 or something like that. So if we divide it by 10, that will be around 50. So let's test it now, and if we click close to it, that is good. If we click far away from it, it goes better, but it still goes pretty fast and a long time. So for that, so the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to add like a maximum. So it will basically be something like, and we'll need an if else, because I'll tell you. So if the distance to mouse pointer divided by 10 is greater than 10, it's greater than 10, then we will want to set power to 10. Otherwise, we'll set power to distance to mouse pointer divided by 10. Let's put all this code back and let's test it now. If you click right next to it, that is good. If you click far away from it, that is good as well. So next, we want to make a variable that will count the number of hits it took you to hit in the hole. So we'll go to variables, make a variable. We'll name it hits for the spray only. Okay. At the beginning, set hits to 0, and then when I receive go, change hits by 1. Then we will want this ball to say something and then just stop all when it hits the hole. So we will want to make an if. So if, touching color, and then we'll pick the middle color. See, remember how we put 2 colors? We want to get the inside color. So if it touches that color, then we'll say a message. And basically we want to use this block join, and I'll say I hit a hole in, and then join it with hits. Hide these variables, and then we'll also put a stop all here. Let's test it, and let's try, and let's see how many hits it takes me to make a hole. Oh, I hit a hole in 4, and then it stops all. Next, we're going to make a cool effect that will basically be if you click down on the ball and hold it down, then it will draw a line for you and it'll show in which direction the ball will go. And then when you release it, the ball will go in that direction. So for that, we will just paint a sprite. It will just be a very tiny circle. Mine can be even smaller. And we'll center it, don't forget to do that. And in the code, we're just going to do when green flag clicked, then we'll want to forever go to mouse pointer. Alright, so let's test it just to see. Alright, so it goes to the mouse pointer always. And next we will want to do if, and then if it's touching the ball and the mouse is down, then we will do something. So if, whoops, not that, this. If touching that, and mouse down. So if mouse down and touching ball, which for me is sprite 1. So if that happens, inside of that, if we'll put a repeat until not mouse down, so basically the mouse up, so it's not down anymore. So while it's holding it down and touching that sprite, it'll do that, and then when it releases, it will stop doing that, draw the line, and then shoot. So repeat until not mouse down, and inside of that, we'll need to draw a line. And for that, we will need the pen extension, which I already have added, but basically you add it by clicking this blue button at the bottom and clicking the pen. So here, we will want to erase all, and because we want to erase from the previous mouse position. So repeat until not mouse down, erase all, and then go to ball, which for me, like I said earlier, is sprite 1 here. So erase all, go to sprite 1, and then we'll want to pen down, so that means it starts drawing, and then go to the mouse pointer, because we want it to draw a line from the ball to the mouse pointer, and then pen up, then it stops drawing. And then outside of this repeat, outside of that repeat until, that means that the mouse is released, so we'll erase all, and here we'll broadcast that message go. And then at the beginning here, when green flag clicked, we'll also erase all. And we'll go back to here, and we won't broadcast this anymore. So we'll actually get rid of this. So now let's test the game. So here, let's pull, and it's not working because we are not in full screen, so it thinks that we're trying to drag and drop this ball sprite. So if we go to full screen, it should work. Here we go, and we want to go over there, and it goes over there. What if we wanted to go over there? And you can see that it works. Now let's try to get it in the hole Alright, so I hit a hole in 3, and everything stops. That is good. So let's name this project. We'll name it mini golf. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next time for another game we can make on Scratch.